Guys, the title of the video suggests, this is the truth. I never actually thought this would happen when I came to Thailand. I never thought about it. And it's not a trick. It's not clickbait. It's a fact. It's a fact. I'm 60 in November. This is September. In less than 2 months, actually, I'm 60 years old. And I'm going to collect my son from school. And the deal is, by the way, I love my son. I love my son more than myself. But the deal is, I never expected, when I got on the plane from Dublin, coming to Bangkok via Abu Dhabi, just put that in, and that's how I got here, that I'd be 12 years later collecting my 6-year-old son from school. That's just something I never thought would happen. And you see, one of the reasons that you might say that's a bit irresponsible, and people have said that before, and I accept that. But one of the reasons myself and my wife, have Harry, well, number one, because you love him. Number two, because we wanted him. But there's another reason why Thai people have children, and that reason is security for the future. Because you don't need me to tell you that there's little or no is putting it mildly. I'm just saying this because I don't know exactly, but I know pretty well that there's little or no, and I stress little or no, social welfare in Thailand. So when you get old, if you haven't got money, who's going to look after you? Your kids. And that's one of the reasons people have kids in Thailand. So I'm about to do the school run now. I get into my car and I'm going to bring you with me. You won't have to look at my face. You can have a look at the traffic and see how mental, and I mean absolutely goddamn mental. Itchy nose. I'm going to have a fight with someone. How goddamn mental the traffic in Bangkok can be. Now, I won't bore you with the whole thing. It's not going to be one of those road videos, boring, but I'll keep talking over it. In one of the safest cities in the world, where your personal safety is more or less a foregone conclusion, to one of the most dangerous places in the world, where your personal safety on the road is almost non-existent, and that's a foregone conclusion. Anyway, sit back, relax and enjoy this one. Let's get into the car. Okay, in the bus. Start the engine. I hope you enjoyed this one, I really do. At least have someone to keep you company on the school run at 60. Where would you get it? 3, 2, 1. Off we go. You can see there's plenty of nice things where I live. How look at that. Up to daisy. So setting off on this 5-day per week school run with lots of lovely scenery, as you can see. Will he open the barrier for me? He will. You'll have to just say thanks. Thais never say thank you. Thank you. If you've watched the video prior to this, driving her family in this car up to Pontoutene, and the fact they never even said a word to me, never said thank you. When that's a Thai condominium where I stay, it's full of Thais. When the security guys lift the barriers, they have their windows closed up. Thais drive with all their windows closed all the time, and you might say, oh, that's because it's see that guy? Oh, you didn't see him. Hang on, because the camera isn't angled. That guy on the motorcycle just there in front of me, he just undertook me as I was pulling out, turning left, and that's par for the course. But they never say thank you, and they have their windows, they all drive with their windows rolled up, blacked out windows, as you can see, and I make it a point of rolling down my window and saying thanks to the security guard for lifting up the barrier. So there you go. So setting off at 3:15 p.m. on the Rashid Afasik Road here in the northern district of Huy Quang, coming into Sudi San here This is more sooty sand than Wigwang, where we are now on our school run. Robin Hood there, they're these food delivery guys. There's oodles of them. There's Robin Hood, there's Grab, there's Line Man, there's Shopee, there's lots of them. There's a Grab guy there, you probably can't see him, he's just on the other side of that Honda. But they're all over the place. And if you go into it, I won't say the name of any particular restaurant, if you go into a fast food restaurant here in Bangkok, you can wait up to 20 minutes for your order, because there's so many Grab guys and Robin Hood guys getting online orders that you literally, the amount of staff just can't cope with the volume of orders that come through. So fast food in Thailand is actually slow food, and that's a fact. The background hum, by the way, is the air conditioning. It's 35 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that translates into Fahrenheit. I only speak English, but turning or hanging a left, as we say, hanging a left along here. Just to give you a heads up, I don't know if you can see it. They're not, but usually at this time of day, all these cars parked on the left hand side are clamped. Because this one road, it's like shooting fish in a barrel for the local constabulary. You can park there overnight, but you can't park there, I think, after 7 a.m. But for some reason they're doing it today. Maybe it's a Monday, they're exempt, I'm not sure. It must be. There's the famous Ladyboy Cabaret, dead ahead. The Dome. And they have shows twice a day. Not too sure, 6 o'clock and 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. I think. Tickets from 800 baht, depending, and goes up then. Not that I've been there, I haven't been there, but I checked it out online once or twice. So as I said, I didn't sign up for this. I mean, this wasn't my intention when I came to Thailand. I mean, I'm glad, you know, there's lots of things that weren't your intention, and you're mighty glad they happened. Well, this is one thing I'm mighty glad it happened. But it certainly wasn't on my mind when I came here. I had this impression, I was 48 years old, and I had the impression of coming over here, maybe teaching English and spending half of my afternoons lying on the beach under a coconut palm, drinking beer and talking to beautiful girls. That was my impression. And then spending each night, you know, walking along the streets of Pattaya, which I'd never been to before. So I had an impression, of course I saw it on YouTube, but I had an impression what it'd be like for me. We're far from that. On this kind of overcast Friday, where does I say Friday, wishful thinking, on this overcast Monday afternoon, as we come to this junction, which is usually a free-for-all. He's putting on his hazards, you see that? Because they do that when they're going straight through a junction. I mean, that's Thai logic. That is Thai logic. I suppose it has some logic, but you're not allowed, correct me if I'm wrong, but in Ireland anyway, you're not allowed to use your hazards unless it's an emergency. And I say that's the same in the States and most other Western countries. But here, indicate right if you're turning right, obviously left if you're turning left, and put your hazards on if you're going straight through a junction. And as that motorcyclist in front of me, he's forgot to turn off his indicator or turn signal, as they say in the States, as most of them do. Havel, that's a huge, they have a huge presence in Thailand. It's one of those Chinese cars. Chinese cars have really put their mark on the motor market in Thailand. I don't know what it's like in the rest of Southeast Asia. We're coming up to a bend here, and the fella in front of me mightn't do it, but they usually do is they put on their turn signal. The bend veers to the left, and there's no necessity to indicate or to put on your turn signal when you're turning into a bend, because you're still on the main road, and the road is just veering to the left or to the right. But in this case, we're veering to the left. There's no need to put on your turn signal, but they do. He's not doing it. He's not doing it because I'm talking about it. Normally they do it. The guy behind me is doing it. He's doing it. There you go. Look, there you are. Indicating going around a bend. I mean, that will just prove it. The standard of, let's say, road rules education, if I can say that, is zero here. They just don't know. They just don't know. No, I'm going to let this fella go, the one in the white MG. Thais don't do that. They just don't give you right away. They never give you right away. Motorcyclists like this guy here takes his right away, and as I'm doing that, another fella comes and undertakes me on my right side. Another motorcycle taxi guy on the footpath. There you are. That's par for the course. He's going to shoot out two kids and the dad, I presume, on the motorcycle, no helmets. And you wonder why this place has the highest rate of road fatalities in the world, or the second highest, or the third highest, depending on your source. The reason we're being held up, there's a garbage truck ahead of us. That's the reason we're being held up here. I hope you're enjoying this. One thing about the schools here with this particular school is they change the schedule almost from week to week and day to day. Some days I pick Harry up at 3:30. Some days it's 4:30. Some weeks it's just 4:30 straight through. Some weeks it's 3:30 straight through. It changes week to week. There's nothing you can take for granted in Thailand, apart from the fact that you can lead a peaceful life. And we're talking about Bangkok, in a very safe city. That's the one thing you can take for granted, because that's the way it is. Actually, I thought it was the garbage truck that was holding up. It's that Leo truck that's making a delivery there on the side. There's no laybys here or delivery. You know, there's nowhere to park your delivery truck. You just have to park on the roadway, and everyone else has to go around you. So would you do what I'm doing now, or would you see yourself doing what I'm doing now, approaching 60 years old and picking up your son or your child from school? You know, some people said to me it's irresponsible. That's been said to me before on YouTube. That's an irresponsible thing to do. I was 54, I was 60 now, Harry's 6. It was irresponsible to have a child at 54. There's lots of times that I think about it. Especially when I have too many Leos. You know, it's hard to put it this way. I want to enjoy the latter half of my life in the best way that I can enjoy it. And, you know, it's personal preference. Some people say, why don't you button your shirt? Well, it's personal preference. I don't want to. You know, and where is the written rule that you have to? Some people say you should speak better Thai, but I don't want to. Where's the written rule that you have to? You know, it's whatever. Well, guys, we're just arrived at the loading bay. I'll put it that way. This is where all the kids congregate to have their... Now, I've turned the camera around for obvious reasons, because there's kids being waiting to be collected by their parents, and it wouldn't be fair to include them on this or any other video for that matter. So I'm just waiting for Harry to get into the jam jar. We call it a jam jar car. That's what we call them in Dublin. So I see him there. Do I see him? Yeah, I see him. He's ready to get in. Be ready for this, lads. The abuse of a 6-year-old. Hiya, Harry, what's the crack? Cheers, thank you. Good boy, how was your day? I've got YouTube rolling here. See, this is the abuse of a 6-year-old. That's what I told you. I didn't know this had happened. It's not being staged. Harry would have stopped that. I'm driving. How was your day? Do you want to say hello to YouTube? No. He doesn't. He has these moves. So this is it. This is the... he's obviously been messing around in school. What were you doing in school today?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yes.
What did you have for your lunch?
Macaroni.
Macaroni. Thais call pasta. Any pasta is macaroni. It could be.
No, we only have macaroni. I know.
No, Thais call it macaroni, Harry. Any pasta is macaroni.
Nadie. We didn't have pasta. We only have macaroni. The real macaroni.
Oh, but Harry knows the difference. This is supposed to be a bilingual school, so maybe they do know the difference between macaroni and other kinds of pasta. But Thais just have this word macaroni for all pasta.
I ate normal macaroni.
Did you? Was it nice?
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Okay. Have you anything to say to the guys on YouTube?
My dad is a stupid.
My dad is stupid, but there you go. Okay, so this is what I said to you was I never expected that I'd be doing this at 60 years old, and absolutely not. And if you think it's unfair to this little fella here beside me, I don't know. Will I be here? Will I be here when I'm 70? Possible. Yes. Will I be here when I'm 80?
Yes.
Possibly. So if I'm here when I'm 80, Harry'll be 26. That'll be time enough, you know. But we're having a great time so far, aren't we, Harry?
10 years, I'm gonna be 60.
16.
No, 10 years, I'm gonna be 16.
Yeah.
And then my dad is gonna be 60.
No, I've got to be 70.
No, you're gonna be 80, and I'm gonna be.
No,
60.
no. Jeez, I'm not going to be 80, Harry, in 10 years.
Why?
Because I'm only 60 now. This is it, lads. This is flying the wall. Life in Thailand. This video is probably covering a lot of different bases, a lot of different, things, but that's the way it goes. As I said, I never thought I'd be doing this, and this is what I never thought I'd be doing.
Thais think the word fuck is a bad word, but it's not.
God damn. There you go. You see, Harry speaks Hiberno English. I'll just qualify this. Hibernia
The
is
word.
too many times. Harry, if you say that one more time, I won't be able to monetize the video. Okay, you can't say it again. Hibernia is the Latin name for Ireland, and Hiberno English is the English we speak in Ireland, which is heavily influenced by the Gaelic language, which is not English. So a lot of the phrases include swear words. It's a very vulgar type of English, but it's very genuine type of English. And Harry speaks Hiberno English, and a lot of the Thais that he congregates with, the kids, when he says things like "ah, for sake,"
For fuck.
"oh gee, we're going to get demonetized." You see, a lot of the parents think that because they hear that 4-letter word, regardless of its context, they have complained to my wife about the fact that Harry's using bad English. But my reply to her was, don't tell me how to speak English and I won't tell you how to speak Thai. I mean, come on.
My head is stuck in the.
He's put his head through the ski pole thing. I don't know if it's called a ski pole thing. You know the thing in the trunk where you can flap it down and put your ski. But now, I've never been skiing in my life. I don't think that Ireland has any. It doesn't have any ski slopes. There's an artificial one outside Dublin because we don't get snow as such. Oh, you got your head out. I'm glad to hear that, Harry. You might be wondering why Harry is unrestrained, and the reason Harry is unrestrained is because that's Thai culture. And I'm hitting my head off a wall or talking to the wall, trying to change that. But he's growing up, floating around in the car because that's the way his mother and his grandmother have brought him up. Because I was overruled on more than one occasion.
Stop when you're over 13 years old. When you're 13 years old, you stop growing.
When you're 20 something, when you're 18 and 20, you stop growing.
No, when you're 13.
But you never stop growing. Your soul, your body, your mind should never stop growing and learning. And that's the truth.
No, actually, the YouTube teach me that you must stop growing someday. Or being so tired you can't even fit through a door.
Yeah, physically, Harry. That's physically growing, but not.
And that is actually.
But you're learning. You're learning every day. You're learning every day.
Daddy, I want to tell you also. Actually, there's a man that can't go. He's taller than you.
Where is he?
He's in Ireland.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of people taller than me in Ireland. Okay, we made it. Actually, GoPro just shut off there because it overheated. It was sitting on the dash. Just give you an idea how hot it gets here. 30 minutes sitting on the dash, it overheats and shuts down. But Harry has found his mates. I'm carrying his bag on my shoulder, and now I can offload him again. Well, he's been offloaded to school all morning, but he has his mates there in the playground just ahead of me. He's found a few kids to play with, so I can do my own thing. In other words, edit this video when I go back. But there you go, lads, that's the deal. I never thought this would happen. Okay, Harry. I never thought this would happen when I came to Thailand. So, what do you think? Do you think it could happen to you? Would you want it to happen to you? Would you like to live a life like this? Is your life as an expat something completely different to what my life as an expat is? You're getting to know the life of an expat a lot better on this channel from the videos I'm putting up recently. So let me know in the comment section. I'm doing my best to get back to as many comments as possible. If I don't, it's not because I don't want to, it's because I just don't have the time, but I'll do my very best to do that. And in the meantime, guys, if you enjoyed this video or you didn't enjoy it, let me know. Make sure you click the like button, the share button, subscribe button, do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.